I gave them to her. I blurted it out. He stopped dead as if he hadn't quite taken it in. He just about got out, "You did what?" But I held up my hand, like he does when he's had enough from me. She's done nothing wrong. I felt sorry for her, and I gave them to her. And I turned on my heel and went down the steps of the platform and planted myself on the bench and I waited. I was ready for him. There was something that was rising up inside of me, and I was ready. I could see him walking towards me, and before he could get a word out, I said, "Oh yeah, go ahead, blame me. Blame me for having the heart of pity on someone. Remember that feels like, eh?" There was no stopping me. So maybe she didn't fight in the war, lose any of her limbs. Does that mean she doesn't deserve pity? What makes you the one that dictates how people are supposed to feel? Your heart missed to be lying on a beach in France, but mine's here. And I'm not letting you turn it into a rock like me own. I'm not letting you make me feel guilty for having compassion for someone because I haven't been where you've been. Let me tell you, when you came home from that war with your arm missing, it was nothing to what I lost. I lost what was left of you. So that gives me the right to be a war victim too. I'm saying all this to an empty track. I'm afraid to look at him. I can hear a train coming and I say, "I'm getting on that train. I don't care where it's going. I don't care. I want to get away from my life. I want to be like her. I want to go somewhere. I'm allowed to feel again." He got up, took my arm. "Don't go, Elsie," he said. Well, that took me by surprise. Truth is, I didn't want to get on that train, but I had to do something to make him see me. We watched the train come and go, and we sat down, and not a word was spoke. He said, "Will we cross over and take the early train back?" We sat in the carriage, and still not a word was spoke. I had nothing left to say. I don't know what was going on inside his head, but this was a different kind of silence, not the usual empty silence. It was full of something. We walked home from the station, and still not a word was spoke. Henry Watson from 2 doors down come up. He'd been watching out for us. "I'm sorry, Elsie, but I got Nelson dead on top of the coal shed earlier, and what with the heat, I called the council to take him away." I thanked him. I went into the house and sat down and cried. I held no tear back. I didn't care anymore what Cecil would say. He didn't say a word. He just stood there, looking at the wall, awkward, with his hand in his pocket. Then he sat down beside me. He put his good arm around my shoulder. Oh, the weight of his arm on my shoulder. Like how it used to be. A weight that didn't need words. We sat like that for a long time. Then he got up and sat opposite me. It was early evening. We sat in the half light, sat till it was dark, opposite each other in the darkness and silence. Just for a glimmer of light on the ceiling from the street lamp outside. I could barely make him out, but I knew he was desperate to say something. I could hear him swallow, clear his throat, and then nothing. I wanted to say, "There's no need." Oh, but there was a need. As hard as it was, there was a need. And then it came. "It's not the loss of my arm, Elsie, or the dead and wounded I seen lying all around me. I broke my promise to William Hunter. I told him he'd be safe, I'd have his back." Oh, and then he started to cry, my husband crying. Nothing I could do to comfort him. But he wouldn't have wanted that. He talked through the tears. Sometimes it was clear, and then a jumble of words rushing out like a burst dam. It was hard to make him out, to piece it together, to make sense. But he got there. Oh, thank God we got there.